Right now, I believe that UConn is the best team in the country. They check off the most boxes from coaching to physicality across the board. But after that, I believe that Arizona, I'll take Arizona over pretty much anybody at this point. Again, come March, anything can happen. I get it. But to me, it's UConn. And then I think Arizona's upside is Arizona is the only team I believe that has the upside to be able to match UConn's. How about that?
So it's interesting, I thought, because I'm trying to put together my show for tomorrow as well. It's a little bit of a quieter, week, whatever. And this was a topic that I was thinking about. Is like, I think we all agree, like, listen, whether you think that Purdue is number one or number two, like they deserve, based on what they've done, to be there. So I was thinking about doing who's number three. And I think it's Arizona. I mean, I honestly do. And it has nothing to do with I'm on PHNX Wildcats. I could be on PHNX Sun Devils here, which I might do later in the show today. We'll see what the day brings me. But I think it's for the reason that you said. And I really think the Colorado game crystallized that for me, right? Because and Arizona has not been perfect, especially away from home, especially outside of Arizona this year. But I bring it up because, that was the game, right? They not great against Utah. They win in triple overtime. I tweeted what an ugly game it was, and everybody agreed. And then, of course, like an hour later, people would see the tweet. Wait, you won in triple overtime. What do you want from us? Nobody's winning on the road. It's like, well, if you had seen the tweet in real time, you would have agreed that it was kind of a sloppy game, whatever. So then you go to Colorado. I'm sold yet again. This is a real team. Not Thad Matta. What's his name? Tad Boyle. My goodness, he's amazing. He does more with less every year. This guy lost in the NCAA tournament to Kevin Ollie. Okay, everyone let's pump the brakes here. Okay,
he's Kevin okay.
Yeah, he's fine. But so I bought into that narrative of the altitude and triple overtime or whatever, and Arizona just smoked them. Right. And so when you see again everything that you said, the guard play, the athleticism, the size. I know Ballo is at times frustrating, but when you could go 2 7-footers. I'm with you. I just think, the key in March, and this is not a new thought, but I'm sure you and I have talked about it before, is you have to be able to win games multiple ways. And I actually think UConn's a great example of that, that Dan Hurley has said publicly, he said up until literally last season, he said we prioritize defense, toughness, physicality, whatever. And he's like, I realized at a certain point, you can't teach putting the ball in the basket. And so again, to your point, Mike, check all the boxes, and I'm talking about Arizona, not UConn, and you can win so many different ways. You can play big. You can play small. You can play 4 guards with Keyshawn at the 5 if you have to. You can do whatever it takes. You can win high-scoring games. So, to me, I'm with you. I think, UConn and Purdue deserve to be talked about as 1 and 2. If you want to say that until Purdue does it in March, you're not going to give them credit as a title favorite, that's fine. But I think Arizona is right there at number 3.
Yeah, and the thing with Arizona that I think is very intriguing come March is Arizona now has a guy that last year they didn't have the dude that you could just get the ball to and get out of the way. Now, again, I know that sometimes people are like, well, Caleb Love is efficiency. I don't care. I'm here for the whole Caleb Love experience, good and bad. I'll take that dude with the ball at the end of the game every single day of the week.
It's like the semester abroad, right? Is like you go to I didn't do a semester abroad, but like if you go to France, you're like, yeah, I want to see the Eiffel Tower, but I'm going to go to Amsterdam for a weekend too. Like I want the whole experience, and that's what you get with Caleb Love. So
but you know what? He's made so many big shots in his career. And last year in the game against Princeton, nobody wanted the shot. As good as Julius Tabellis was, he didn't want the shot. Kirk Kriisa talked about wanting the shot. He didn't want the shot. Caleb Love wants the shot. So that to me is one big thing. The other is that you can go small, you can go big. And, I think that's what's kind of frustrating for so many Wildcat fans is you see all of this. You can bring a dude like KJ Lewis off the bench, which we're going to get to in just a minute because you and I will take a victory lap on KJ Lewis.
Hell yeah, we will.
But, again, they can pretty much match you in any way with the guards, with the up front. But I've been saying this all year, Aaron. To me, this comes down to Kylan Boswell. If Kylan Boswell is good, again, don't need him to be All-American good. I need him to be fringe All-Conference good. If he can be 13-5, Arizona can cause a lot of problems, but when he's 0-0-0 across the stat line, that's a really hard one to overcome.
I don't disagree. And I know that's been a point of frustration with Arizona fans is the up and down inconsistency. I mean, listen, that's the oldest cliche in college basketball, right? Is that guard play wins in March, and there's something to it. And it's not just guard play like what you said with Caleb Love is can you get baskets? It's the full experience of guard play. It's free throws, it's ball handling, it's not turning the ball over, it's making open shots, it's all of that. And obviously Kylan Boswell, like as weird as it sounds, I mean, I don't know if he's like the most,
just say it.
No. I don't know if he's like the most complete guard on the roster, but he's the guy that generally has the ball in his hands. And so, like you said, Caleb Love can do a lot. The other guys on the roster can do a lot. Pella can do a lot. You just need Kylan Boswell not to be a net negative. So I agree with you on that, is that I've heard there's some advanced metrics that say like Pella Larson's like one of the most important players in college basketball. I still think for this team specifically, it's Kylan Boswell because he does a lot of, and he seems to be okay, like doing, not being the guy that has the ball in his hands, not being the guy that takes the big shot, not being the guy that gets 18, 19, 20 points a game. And as long as you have that, I think that's important.
And I think what's really also important, too, is that Arizona's got 3 guys off the bench, 2 guys that have been able to really contribute consistently, and Jaden Bradley and especially KJ Lewis. Shear, you were wrong on KJ Lewis. We're about to make fun of Shear about that. But also, when you can bring Krivas, to me, Krivas is really important in all of this, because if I can bring a 7-footer off the bench that can play and can be productive, that is always a very, very nice thing. But that's also something too. Arizona didn't have 3 guys that you could bring off the bench last year. And, 1 or 2 of them are probably NBA players. And in KJ Lewis, we're probably looking at a lottery pick at some point.